Hello and welcome to the Leaky Bucket podcast. I'm your host, Ian Morgan, and I'm here to make accounting fun and practical. With over 15 years of experience as an accountant and a business owner, I'm excited to share tips and tricks that will help you improve your financial controls and gain the clarity that you need to succeed. So let's plug those financial leaks and take your business to the next level. Stay tuned for some great insights. Hey everyone, it's Ian Morgan here. Welcome to today's episode. So today we're going to be diving into a crucial topic for business owners, and that is effective expense tracking. Today we're going to cover why it's vital to keep detailed records, the best tools for the job, and how to categorize expenses correctly so HMRC don't come knocking on your door. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, why is it so important to keep detailed and accurate records of all your business expenses? Now, there are obviously loads and loads of reasons, but today I'm just going to cover a few of these for you. The first of that is the compliance and legal requirements. You see, HMRC requires accurate record keeping to ensure that you're paying the right amount of tax. Poor records not only can lead you to paying incorrect tax, which obviously you don't want to do, but they can also lead to potential investigations, potential penalties and fines, and obviously nobody wants those either. The second area is the financial health of your business. You see, keeping track of expenses helps you to understand where all your money is going. And that insight can be absolutely critical for budgeting and then making informed financial decisions. You see, nobody wants to be in that situation where you're looking at the end of the year, suddenly you realise you've not made the money you thought you were going to make, but it's too late. The year's done. Yeah. So actually, if you can keep on top of those regularly and they're accurate, then you can make better business decisions to improve your business performance. And then thirdly, there are the tax deductions. You see, proper records can help you to identify and claim all of the deductions that you are entitled to, therefore reducing your taxable income and reducing the tax that you'll pay, right? Now, obviously, you're running a business in order to make money, but you don't want to pay more tax than what you have to pay, surely? So, it's knowing the rules, keeping yourself up to date and making sure that you're categorizing them to be able to reduce your taxable income. Now, the second thing that we're going to talk about today are some fantastic tools and apps that can make expense tracking as simple as possible. Now, the first of these is a bit of a favourite of ours. It's called Dext. It used to be called Receipt Bank, and now, in my opinion, much better name, but I'm not here to decide on what companies want to call themselves. But Dext is an app that lets you take pictures of receipts, which are then stored digitally. If you already have them in a digital format, i.e. they've been like emailed to you, or you've got some kind of PDF copy or something like that, then you have the ability to just upload it or forward it to an email address for your account. But what it then does for you is it extracts all the key data and information from those receipts or invoices, and then it integrates with loads of different accounting software and saves you an abundance of time. So it's going to extract all the stuff like, so the date, the name of that supplier, whether there's any VAT on there at all, and all you've got to do is be able to categorize it, and you can even map that for specific suppliers. So you've got, if you've always got an EE telephone bill, you can map that so it's always going to telephone, and it's dealing with it accordingly. Then there's the accounting tools. So there's a couple of those. So you got there's QuickBooks, which is a bit of a comprehensive tool for managing all aspects of your finances. It allows you to track expenses, obviously categorize them and generate reports. And I think QuickBooks is great for that smaller type business, particularly up to the VAT threshold and maybe a little bit over there. The next one is Xero. Xero is our go-to, and we think it's the best tool in terms of accounting platforms. And it's really, really good for small to medium-sized businesses. The businesses that we work with, it fits brilliantly for them. There's expense tracking, there's invoicing, there's all the financial reporting. But what Xero has is a wealth of integrations with lots of different apps like Dext, but also ones you can push data out to as well. That means you can get real good quality data. Then there's, to give you another one, there is Expensify, which is great for businesses that have got employees and they need to do expense claims and reports. It simplifies that whole process and it integrates well with all of the other accounting tools that I've mentioned as well. And these tools, right, they not only save you time, but they also reduce the risk of human error. So they go back to those earlier parts. They ensure that your records are accurate and up to date, and that you're not going to have any of those bits of HMRC knocking on your door. The final thing then is that we need to learn how to categorize the expenses correctly for HMRC purposes. So HMRC have got their own categories that they like to use, and you may have more than these when you're doing your accounting, and that's perfectly fine. But in most circumstances, you're going to narrow these down to fit within HMRC's categories when you get to your statutory accounts. You need to be aware of these and the areas that they consider risks. Common ones that they've got are things like travel, there's entertainment, there's things like office supplies, utilities, rent and rates, and those sorts of things. You need to be able to use clear headings and titles and labels, right? Having a chart of accounts that has, say, one for each different customer, for example, isn't necessarily the best, right? There's great ways in Xero that you can use tracking categories, and you can map those out in different areas. So you want to see those different areas of the business. That's great, but you want to get your sales into those different areas, and you want to get your labels clear as well. So when you enter expenses into your accounting software, use clear and specific labels, and this can help you and also HMRC when they potentially do an audit to understand what each expense is for. It reduces the stress and the challenges within those investigation periods, because actually you can be really clear about exactly what's included in each area. Next, you need to make sure that you are separating your personal and business expenses. This is absolutely crucial in terms of accurate record keeping and also keeping compliant for HMRC. Your business is not a bank account for your personal expenditure, right? If you've got expenses that you need to make personally, pay yourself from your business and then pay those other expenses personally. Don't end up with all of those costs going through the business. It creates an accounting nightmare, and it also creates an audit/investigation nightmare if HMRC are ever looking at things, because they want to know that you haven't captured any of those things from a personal perspective. Now, there are a few areas, right, that there can be some real advantages for your business. So there are costs that can go through the business there's an element of personal for it, but actually there's a benefit to the business. So for example, it's not uncommon to have mobile phone costs, for example, going through a business, and you're going to have some personal use. Okay, there's no benefit in kind on that. It's perfectly legit and allowable. Your business can also pay you for using your home for business purposes. So if you're like me and you have a home office, there are ways of calculating how much your business can pay you to use your office for business purposes. Then there's also other ones as well that attract taxable benefits. So for example, company cars, particularly like electric cars, for example, or commercial vehicles, they can be a great advantage. Business can pay for them. Yes, there's an element of personal use that gets declared, that's fine, but that can go through the business as well. Now, the other area is that you need to make sure that you're doing regular reviews, okay? It's all very well that you're putting all of these stuff into categories and you're making sure that you're accurate and all that, but actually it's the time to stand back and look at that and make sure that what is going on, yeah? Are you being consistent in the approach that you're doing? how is that actually performing versus the budget that you created? And can you really just take that little bit of time just to analyze exactly where everything's at? So to wrap up, right, effective expense tracking is vital for maintaining your business financial health and staying compliant with HMRC. If you use the right tools to make the process easier and you ensure that you're categorizing expenses correctly, then you can reduce any stress or impact of any investigation from HMRC can have, but you can also make sure that your financials are telling you the right information to make improved financial and business decisions. So thanks so much for joining me today. If you've got any questions at all, then obviously feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Or drop me a message if there's anything personal in that nature. I'm more than happy to just jump on and answer any of those. Until next time, and make sure you keep those records straight and your business thriving. And also, don't forget to like and share if you found this helpful. See you soon. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us for this episode today. We will continue to bring you great tips and tricks in future episodes. But if you can't wait until then you can always head over to our Facebook group and join the conversation with fellow business owners and entrepreneurs. Just search Accounting Tips and Tricks on Facebook or check out the show notes. Until next time.